Writing and presenting news for web portals. News presented in portals are formatted in a new writing style which is suitable to web audience. This style has been emerged from journalists' years of experience in handling responses and online behaviors of online news users. Based on this, scholars offer the following tips to budding online journalists who enter into online reporting. Audience analysis. A reporter who writes news for news portals or websites must keep online readers' needs and habits in mind. Web analytics and studies of web usability indicate that web users are not reading news as they do offline news consumption, rather skim over sites or sections of portals. They are more proactive than print readers or radio listeners or television viewers. Their responses and feedback are instant, not delayed as in case of letters to editor, and they simultaneously use multiple news sites and instantly compare the contents. More so, they have unlimited options for fact-checking and verification. Your portal has universal reach unlike local or regional or national newspaper or channel you work for. Hence, online reporters shall write keeping a universal, multicultural, cosmopolitan, educated, advanced audience in mind. Multimedia reporting. In traditional media, we have single option at time, text or audio-visual. Online portals carry all these three formats at a time. Before we start reporting and writing story, we have to plan the best way to narrate the story, whether through audio, video, visual data, text, link, etc., or their full or some combination. There is option to collaborate with audio, video and interactive producers. Availability of multiple format complicates online reporting. Only solution is to plan before getting down to reporting and let your plan guide us throughout the news collection and presentation process rather than reporting story and then integrating various elements later as an afterthought. Combine information and emotions. In traditional media ecology, audience members have their own preferences. Newspaper readers prefer information while radio and television audiences look for emotions and pictures respectively. News on web portals must be planned combining these all. Text shall go with pictures and videos combining clear sound. Fault in any of the components may ruin the chance of entire story. For example, blurred video may lead user to skip to other site a story. Hence, maximum preparation shall be made before gathering news for news portals. Dynamic writing. As mentioned earlier, news portals are dynamic and organic and change contents in minutes or in seconds through additions, deletions or modifications. Hence, lively prose, leaning on strong verbs and sharp nouns is the chosen style for the web news. Keep your content differentiated from multitude of narratives available online by giving distinctive voice to your story. As said earlier, online users just skim or browse, not read intently, so use conversational and unconventional styles. But grammar, punctuation and collation shall be correct because news portal audience is global in nature, which includes all levels of people from laymen to experts. Tighter and punchier text. Writing for the web lies between broadcast and print reporting style. The text shall be tighter, punchier than print but more literate and detailed than broadcast writing. Narrate stories actively, not passively, because your audience is active jumping from side to the other. Keep them on yours is difficult. Easy to grasp texts. Pointer News University document gives the following tips. Use simple declarative sentences. Stick to one idea per sentence. Avoid the long clauses and passive writing of print. Ensure that every expressed idea flows logically into the next. These tips help you write easily and keep your audience attentive. Explain why the story matters. Those who read news on portals rarely notice or care who was first. They want to know just what happened but why it matters. So, write in detail to explain why the news story matters. It doesn't mean that lengthy stories are welcome. Experts say that the maximum length allowed is 800 words, but let that be a guideline, not a rule. Users will stick with lengthier stories online if there is a convincing reason. Don't bury headlines. Story lead is important in news portals since readers are just browsing and leads shall get their attention while they browse. So, you can't afford to bury the lead online. A common problem with online writing occurs in breaking news stories. In an effort to seem as current as possible, sites will often put the latest development in a story at the top, no matter how incremental the development is. Then, they'll pile the next development on the top and the next, creating an ugly mishmash of a story that makes sense only to someone who has been following the story closely all day. The solution is to keep the most important element at top even while covering the latest when updating stories. Avoid large blocks. Don't write stories in news portals in larger blocks. Longer block of text make reading difficult, especially on screen. Solution is to use more subheads and bullets to separate ideas and to keep paragraphs and sentences short. Use multiple elements. You have multiple options to give your news stories with charts, tables, graphs, and so forth. Use these tools to keep your stories attractive and easy to read. Straightforward headlines. Headlines are the gateways in the case of stories in news portals. Users don't know what they are going to get when they click on stuff. And they are not going to click on something unless they know what they are getting. So, give straightforward headlines that lead users to exact content. Studies show how online news users preferred straightforward headlines to funny or cute ones. Cute headlines didn't do as good a job of quickly explaining what a story is about and thus discouraged online users from clicking through. Use hyperlinks with reason. Hyperlink is a basic feature of websites and portals. You can link your stories in appropriate ways considering their connection. Sometimes you need to link your story to other sites. Online journalists have a paranoid fear that if they include links to other sites, readers will surf away and never return. It is not true. If your portal and its contents are good, they must return and enjoy yours. The above mentioned are useful for those who wish to write and present news in news portals. I recommend you to look into some of the professionally managed news portals from India and abroad. It will help you understand how a successful port functions and how their contents are created.